Kagalos Bokato, we're going to continue with Daf Kufnun Gimel Amud Aleph on the new Perek, chapter 24. This is towards the bottom. And it says as follows, Mishichlo bederech. If somebody all of a sudden was traveling and all of a sudden becomes dark, and he's got money in his hands, so Noten Kisol Nochri is allowed to give his money to the goy during the day still, in order that the goy will take it for him. If he doesn't have a goy, he could put it on the donkey. The second that he comes to the outer courtyard of the city, he's allowed to carry whatever he's allowed to carry on Shabbat. And whatever is not allowed to be carried on Shabbat, he just unties the knot, and everything just falls on the floor. Okay? Says the Gemara. Why is it that the rabbis permitted you to give your wallet to a goy? So Kimlu Rabbanan answers the Gemara, because usually, obviously, the goy, you're not allowed to tell a goy to do different isurim. So answers the Gemara, Kimlu Rabbanan, the rabbis knew a person will not withhold because of losing so much money. So what's going to happen? So if you're not going to permit him to give it to a goy, he himself is going to carry it for a motan Rabim. He's going to be over in Isur Doraita. So because of that, they permitted the goy in order that a person doesn't do the Isur Doraita. Okay? Amar Rava says, Davka kiso, but that's only his money, his pocket. Aval mitziyah, but if he found something, so imagine right now, this is talking about a pocket, his money pouch, his wallet. But if he just found something on the path, then it's not going to be permitted to give it to the goy. So it says, Gemara Pshita, obviously, kiso tonight. We learned in the Mishnah, was written kiso is wallet. So it says, Gemara, no, I would have thought to say, the same halacha would apply filu mitziyah, anything that he found as well. The Haidek Tani kiso, and that what she said, kiso, Orcha de minta ktani. It's just orcha de minta. Kamashmalan comes teach you that it's only kiso is permitted and not his mitziyah. The lo amran, and this we also didn't say it if it didn't get to his hands before the Shabbat. Aval ati liyadeh, but if the mitziyah did get to his hands before the Shabbat, then it's kiso. Then it's like his wallet as well. Because once it's yours, that means I cannot come and on Shabbat say, I just found this money thing. Or I just found what I'm going to get a goy to take it for me. No. It's not mine yet. But if it's already to my hands, now I could get the goy to get it for me, to take it for me, and then there's no problem. Ika damri. So he says, some people say, Rava says, what happens if it comes to his hand? Given that is it considered that it's yours? Or Dilmar, maybe given the say it's not yours, because you didn't tarach, you didn't work for it, you just found it. So Teku, we don't have an answer. Okay? 2 dots. Any monochri, if there's no goy with him. Ta'ama, the reasoning why is because he doesn't have a goy. But if he does have a goy, then he has to give it to the goy. He shouldn't put on the chamor. My time, what's reasoning? Why is the goy better than the chamor? So says the Gemara, chamor ata mitzvah shvitato. A chamor, you're commanded that he shouldn't work for you on Shabbat. The goy, you're not commanded that he doesn't work for you on Shabbat. Chamor vecheresh shote vekatan. A chamor manachle. If you have a choice between a chamor, Cheresh shote v'katan, deaf mute, shote is somebody that's not 100% there, or a katan, a minor, you should put on the chamor. Cheresh shote v'katan, even if don't give it to the cheresh shote v'katan, might have what's reasoning. Hani adam, because at the end of the day, they're human beings, so you could get confused with other people of Shminat Shabbat. But this is an animal, so it's not adam. That means even though a cheresh shote, they don't understand what they're doing anyway. It's like a chamor, but no, it's a human being at the end of the day. Cheresh v'shote, if you want the choice between a cheresh and a shote, deaf mute and a shote, give it to the shote. Shote v'katan, give it to the shote. So now, what about a cheresh v'katan? A minor or a deaf mute? Who do you give it to? So I leave it to Rabbi Eliezer, to Rabbi Eliezer. According to Rabbi Eliezer, for sure it's not a question. The time we'll enter the Braita. Rabbi Yitzchak or Rabbi Yisrael says the name of Rabbi Eliezer. Trumat cheresh, a truma v'cheresh, a deaf mute, kuftum gimel amud bet, lo tetzeh lechulin, should not call it chulin. In this shu safek, because it's a doubt. Ki tebay lecha, when is the doubt? Aliba d'Rabbanan, according to the rabbis. The Tanam was learned in the Mishnah. 5 people should not give a truma, a donation. I mean, they shouldn't give their trumot, right? Separating the truma. In Talmud, but if they did do it, with the avad, it's not a good truma. These are the 5 people. Cheresh, shote, katan, torem, venochri, which means, again, a cheresh deaf mute. Shote is a person that's not 100% there. Katan, a minor. Torem et sheno shelo, if you're going to donate something that's not yours. That means if I've got fruits, right, somebody else cannot come and take off for my fruits. It's not his. He can't take off the truma. Number 5 is a nochri shetaram Etchel Israel, a goy that's torem for a Jew, even if it's for his own permission. En trumato truma, it's not a good truma. What does it mean you're going to give it to a cheresh? The kata nati lichlal dat, because the child is going to come to that. Well, dilma lekatan li'ayv the cheresh, atek v'gedav. He says, 1 second. What about the cheresh? What does that mean? Is it because at the end of the day, a katan will come to bardat and a cheresh not? Or maybe you should give it to the katan because a cheresh you could be machlif with a gadol. Meaning like this. What's better? I'm going to give it to the cheresh because the child will become bar mitzvah. And therefore, since he's going to become bar mitzvah, so then you shouldn't give it to him. Or maybe you should give it to the child and not to the cheresh. Because the cheresh, even though he'll never become with a mind, but at the end of the day, you could switch a cheresh with another person, a Bani Israel, that's a normal Jew, that's at that age. But a katan, you're going to say, no, he's a child. What are you going to give it to a child for? So some people say you should give it to a cheresh, and some people say you should give it to the katan. Okay? So there's two different opinions. Okay? He says, 1 second, when you don't have a nochri, you don't have a goy, you don't have a chamor, you don't have a cheresh shota v'katan. What are you going to do? So it says in Yitzchak, there was another way to do it, but they didn't want to tell it to you. What is the Oda Cheret Aita? You could walk every single time less than 4 amot, and you have to stop. And by doing that, you could continue going until you get to your destination. But again, why didn't the rabbis want to reveal it then? Why didn't they want to reveal it? And so the Gemara, which means it's mutar le'astir divrei Torah in order not to go against the kavod of Hashem. Meaning we wanted to hide certain things because we didn't want to go against Hashem. So he says, so because of that, he says he didn't want to come to do something which people could come and do transgressions so quickly. You're going to tell a person to stop every 4 amot. They're going to walk 5 amot, 6 amot, 3 amot. You understand? So because of that, they didn't want to reveal it to anybody. So he says, where is the kvod Elokim? So says the Gemara, maybe they're going to come and carry it 4 amot in the Reshut Rabim. So Tanya, we learned in the Braita. Rabbi Eliezer says, Bo bayom gadshu seah. On the same day, they came and they made a siyag to the Torah. They made a fence around the Torah. Yoshua says, Bo bayom machku seah. They went and they erased the seah. So Tanya, we learned in the Braita. Mashal, the Rabbi Eliezer, what is the Mashal of Rabbi Eliezer? Ma davar domeh. To kupa melea kishuim dluim. You have a basket full of pumpkins and cucumbers. Adam, if you're going to put mustard seeds inside, Masechet, it's going to hold. So to here, Mashal Rabbi Yeshua ma davar domeh. La'areva melea dvash. It's going to be a plate full of honey. You're going to put the limonim megazim, behim mekia, and it's going to take out dvash. It's going to take out honey. So Amar Mormor comes and he says, any monochri, what happens if you don't have a nochri? Yeah, he says, any monochri when you call a chamor. So then you put it on the chamor. V'alo mechamer. Says it's mechamer. Mechamer means you're not allowed to direct the chamor on Shabbat. V'rachman amar lo ta'aseh kum lacha. So Amar Rava Barava says, no, it's already traveling and now you put it on its back. You don't put it on its back and now you tell it to travel. It's already traveling and now you put it on its back. So it says, it's impossible that it's not going to stop. In order to do its necessities. So then you have akira v'anacha. So answers the Gemara, it says, no, when it's walking, you put it on top of it. When it stops, you take it off. So since you take it off before it starts going again, there was no akira and anacha. So says the Gemara, so then even with your friend, you could do the same thing. So Rav Papa says, no, kol shebgufo chayav chata b'chavro patur aval asur. If it's on you and you're going to be chayav chatat, it's not on your friend, it's going to be patur asur. But anything which is going to be patur asur for your friend, on your donkey, it's going to be mutar lechatchila to do it. So that's why it's going to be here mutar lechatchila. Amar Ravad Barava says Ravad Barava. Imagine right now you have got your burden on your shoulders, right? Right? So what are you allowed to do? You're allowed to run with it, right, before you get to your house. Because then there's no akira v'anacha, right? There's hanacha, there's no akira. Because basically, since you were running with it from the beginning, there was never an akira. From the beginning of the Shabbat, you never uprooted it. You were always running from the beginning. Okay? סוף סוף כמעט לבטא, אי אפשר דלא קאי פורתא. Says, 1 second, by the time you get to your house, it's impossible you didn't rest at all. Says, no, kamei mirshut rabim mirshut yachid. Right? So therefore you're coming from Rishut Rabin to Rishut Yachid. So it says the Gemara, no, you threw it kilachar yad, you threw it in, right? Like backhandedly. So I'm going to be somebody's going to be mechamer after his animal, which means that he's going to direct his chamor on Shabbat. He's going to be chayav chatat. If he did it b'mezid, he's going to be chayav sekila. Ma'itama, what's the reasoning? Amar Rabba says, the pasuk says, lo taseh kum melacha. Atav v'emtecha. You're not allowed to do any type of melacha, even you or your animal. Is like you, just like if you would do it, you're going to be chayav chatat, and in the mezid, you're going to be chayav skila. So to your animal, if you did it by accident, you're going to be chayav chatat. If you did it on purpose, you're going to be chayav skila. So Amar Rabba says, there are two questions against this. One of them, it's written, Torah chat yelachem la'oseh bishkaga. That there's going to be one Torah if you did it by accident. Everything's like avodah zarah. Just like avodah zarah, you have to do with your body. So to here, you have to do a maaseh with your body. And we learned also another thing in the Mishnah. He says, "Amchalel et Shabbat." There does exist something that if you did it b'shogeg, you're not going to be chayav chatat, and if you did it b'mezid, you're not going to be chayav skila. What is it? Isn't it mechamer that you're not going to be chayav? So says the Gemara, no. We're talking about only tchumin and according to Rabbi Akiva. Right? Or havara according to Rabbi Yosef. Again, remember, according to Rabbi Akiva, right, tchumid is an isur min Torah. Or the havara, which is according to Rabbi Yosef, that he says you're not going to be chayav chatat or skila on melechav havara. Okay? And we continue Bezrat Hashem.